Hey, it's Mandee Montana. You know, love is in the air this Valentine's season, and there's no better way to celebrate than with the ultimate gift of relaxation from Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. From February 1st through the 16th, when you purchase a couple's massage, you'll receive 2 free express facial gift cards valued at $120. That's a luxurious treat for you and your loved one. And the romance doesn't stop there. Visit the spa between Thursday, February 13th and Sunday, February 16th for a couples massage, and they'll make it even more special. You'll be treated to chocolate roses, champagne, and the expert touch of our fully certified massage therapists, creating an unforgettable experience. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Call Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler today at 903-345-4622 to book your Valentine's experience today. That's 903-345-4622 to book your Valentine's Day couple massage at Hand and Stone.
Welcome to the Celebrating Women podcast, hosted by Mandee Montana, a podcast that celebrates women, their stories, their struggles, and ability to overcome. Conversations that celebrate their gifts, their talents, and courage. It's the Celebrating Women podcast, presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. With over 20 massage therapists and 6 estheticians certified and trained in multiple protocols, you can get an affordable massage or facial located right here in the East Texas area. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Welcome back to the Celebrating Women podcast. I'm Mandee Montana with my special guest, Holly Parrish. Holly and I have been friends for almost 8 years. We met whenever I first entered network marketing and started working with Singular. And if it weren't for Holly, I would not have had the success that I had. But aside from all of that, we became friends almost instantly. She is someone who is always in my corner. She's always cheering me on. And she has a new project that I'm so excited about. I can't wait to hear all about it. So, Holly, I'm just thrilled that you decided to join me today. And I cannot wait to hear about your new project. It's with your husband, Lulee, right?
Yeah. Well, first we got to go back to when I met you because
Oh,
listen, I have always loved you and I have been your biggest cheerleader and fan from day one. I remember walking into a coffee shop to meet you and hear about your story, and I was like, that girl is a star and I'm keeping her forever. And I think I told you that.
you
And
did.
I was like, it's not even, yeah. I'm like, I know you came here to, lose a little weight or whatever, but we're keeping you forever. And that's that. And do you like to travel? And you said, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to travel the world together. And
And we have.
that was 8 years. Yeah. And we have. And it's so fun. And I love you. And I still love you. My daughter loves you. And you're like her auntie. And I love you and I appreciate you. And all the things that you do are amazing. You're
Oh, well,
amazing.
thank you. You're going to make me cry, Holly. You know, I love you back so, so much. And I love Zoe too. And y'all are family. Can't go
Yes.
anywhere, no matter what. But one of the things that I love about you is that you do everything that you do with passion. You do it with enthusiasm. You throw yourself into projects. And I've seen you do just the most incredible things, from leading our team and bringing in brand new people and fostering them and developing them and helping them have belief in themselves, to watching you do things outside of your comfort zone, like your mermaid parties on the beach, and now kind of stepping into this realm, doing a podcast. What makes you say, I'm going all in on things? Is it just part of your personality innately, or is there something that pulls you through?
Well, I guess it just kind of depends. I am so not a planner. I am a total like fly by the seat of my pants. I'm like, oh, I have an idea. Okay, we're doing it in 5 seconds. We're not doing it next month. We got to do it right now because I'm in a squirrel and, it's either going to happen or it's not. And I am very passionate, though, like you said, about really. I mean, even when I started Singular, it's not even about helping people lose weight as much as it is helping people live better, no matter what it is they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see other people get passionate about something. When I started, my husband said, there's nothing sexier than a woman who finds their passion. And I had never had that before. I really didn't know. I was like, I want to be a mom. I want to, I want to have kids. I want to be married. I didn't love my job. I was a realtor for 11 years. Before that, I worked at a TV station in marketing. I thought I wanted to be a psychologist, but I was like, I couldn't wake up at that time. I'm like, I'm just going to fall asleep. And then I found out that as a, therapist, you can't tell people what you want. You just have to keep saying, what, well, tell me more about that. And I was like, well, that's boring because I'm a fixer. And so if I can't do that, I'm going to go to jail. So geez, I got to figure something else out. So I don't know. I just love helping people figure out what it is their passion is and having, showing them, okay, well, here's a vehicle. Let's get you there. I love
Mm-hmm.
vision boards. I love putting things down and seeing it and saying it and speaking it and being positive and just teaching other people how to do that. And like, it's funny you say about the beach thing. I'm also, I guess I'm artistic. Like, I mean, I'm not like I wasn't ever taught to do anything or whatever, but I love to create. I love to go make things pretty. I love to paint. Right now, I'm so excited because there's a lady who lives here on the island and she wants a mermaid. So she got me a 30 by 40 canvas. And she's like, okay, here's the picture. This is what I want. She's had her her house redone because we've gone through all these hurricanes. So this is like she wasn't even done with the last one. And now she's like, I'm gonna commission you to do this. And I was like, okay, I'm so excited. And then she's like, and I was looking at her thing. I'm like, oh, this is oil. You need this in oil. And I haven't done oil painting in years. But she was like, can you do it in oil? And I'm like, I am doing it in oil. So I'm super excited that I have a blank canvas downstairs and all new oil paints and all new brushes. And so, like, I bought me some white Dickies and I'm like, let's just go on it all in. And then I have the luxury picnics on the beach because I think I'm a mermaid. So we always need to be in the sand and doing fun things. And then I have sip and paint for my island ladies once a month because it was necessary to bring my community together. We'd gone through
Mm-hmm.
COVID here and then a lot of people through storms and everybody was just like staying in their houses. And I'm like, okay, I did not move here to be by myself. Yes, I'm on a deserted island. Not that deserted, but pretty deserted. I have to get on a car ferry to get here. You can't like unless you swim or by boat. At the same time, I'm like, there are a lot of cool people who are like minded and I need to get to know them. It's been a little over a year that we do a sip and paint once a month. And anyway, so then this next thing that you're talking about is it's called Love Stories with Holly and Lulee. Our 22nd or 23rd anniversary just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking about it, I just said, okay, because we have a crazy love story. Hey, okay,
You have to tell the love story.
okay.
Okay.
Well, and that's why it's like, okay, we have a really cool love story, but I feel like other people do too. And a lot of times, you and I even talked about this. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we feel so bad when people don't have the relationship that we do. Not that
Mm-hmm.
every day is, unicorns and rainbows, but we really like each other a lot. And we really like to be, we'd rather be together than apart. And anyway, we're like, we need to just celebrate like you're celebrating women. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate other people and their relationships and the good, the bad, the ugly, and really more than anything, like the funny, because,
Mm-hmm.
we all have funny stuff if we're going to be honest about it. So I was like, I don't want to do any boring podcasts. I want the nitty gritty and I want the fun stuff because we're really having a lot of fun. I mean, we've been having fun for 23 years, but we're having a lot of fun right now. So here's the story.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me get a sip of water.
Yeah, you're going to need one because this is a good story.
It's not that long. All right. So we met. I was working at a TV station.
Mm-hmm.
I had a boyfriend all the time, 2 year, 3 year, 2 year, 3 year, and I get bored and be like, okay, we're done. So he had been married before and he had two children. Okay. So he walks in, and I'm not a people watcher, right? I'm always kind of tunnel vision, like checking on my list, going about my world. But there's a loft where I worked, and I looked back and I noticed him. And I remember what he had on, which is super rare for me. And then I asked somebody who was working there, I'm like, who is this? Who's this guy? And what's he doing here? And it was a friend. And she was like, oh, he's coming to look for a job. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, 2 weeks later, we got married. So the end.
No, that's just the beginning.
Oh my gosh, my mom.
2 weeks, Holly. 2
2
weeks.
weeks, yes. So I didn't kiss him. We didn't have sex, nothing like that. I had earned a trip. Is that
Mm-hmm.
weird? So I had earned a trip
With the
and he
TV
ended up
station?
working. Yeah, I earned it with the TV station. And it was a cruise. And so when he started working there, he was like, okay, well, I'm a trainer. So if you ladies who have earned the trip want to meet me in the morning, then I'll help you guys work out and train and whatever. So we're like, okay, so 4:30 in the morning, which you know me is not my not I am not a morning person, but I was like, okay, sure. I want to look good on the cruise. I'll go work out. So a lot of us met him the first day and only I kept going the following days. So we would just go to the gym, we would do a little workout, and then we would just like walk around this indoor lap, and we just kind of started getting to know each other. And he was funny and he was cute, and we just connected. And so one day we went to lunch and we sat down. He asked me, why have you never been married? I guess I was 31. Yeah, I was 31. He was like, why have you never been married? And I said, I don't know, I guess no one has ever asked me. And I did take a mariachi guy's like guitar at one of we used to go like eat every single night in that long 2 weeks. We'd go to lunch. I'd hurry and help him finish his work. I'd be like, give me that. Let me finish that because you're taking too long. So we go to lunch and go hang out. And then we go, do a little work and then go to dinner and hang out with friends. But one day at a Mexican food restaurant, I did take like the mariachi guy's guitar and started playing it. So anyway, he said to me, well, do you think that you condone a life that, would tell someone maybe you want to be married? And I was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, whatever. Like, I'm just here to have fun. And I don't know what you're talking about, but that's that. And he was like, well, I was sitting in my mother's living room and he was like, and I was praying that I could marry a woman in her 30s who could accept me off for all my baggage and who had never been married. And he said he looked at his mom and his mom was like, maybe it's that Holly girl you've been hanging around. He goes, oh, no, no, no. She's way too crazy. And so we're sitting there at that lunch and that's what I said. And he was like, well, I feel like this is real, isn't it? And I was like, are we going to get married? He's like, I kind of think we are. I was like, are you asking me? He was like, well, no, I was just asking, like, why not? And so next couple of days, he pulled over on the side of the road on the way to Christmas Eve and asked me to marry him. And so I was like, sure. And when we get there, you can meet my dad at Christmas Eve. So
I
that's
mean, I
that. That's
know
how it
you,
happened.
so this all makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
But for the average person, that's really fast.
No, if Zoe came and said, Mom,
I know.
I just met this guy who she just met, but they've been together longer than we were together. And in 2 weeks, tell me, I mean, what am I going to say as a mom that they know my story? But
Yeah, but you and
also,
Zoe are different, though. Y'all have different personalities, don't you?
oh, Zoe is you. Yes,
Zoe is
totally.
you.
Zoe's totally you.
I don't
She
think
is
I'd get.
not me at all.
It took my husband 5 years to propose. I was probably ready after about 6 months, but it took him 5 years. So yeah, different roadmap.
Yeah. Well, and the way we did it
Yeah, how
is
did you? What was the ceremony like?
okay, so my parents were divorced, so I always knew. First
Mhm.
of all, I was so close to my dad, and I can't even watch a movie with the dad walking his daughter down the aisle without losing my mind. And I'm not even a
I
crier,
was
but I
about to say
can't
you don't
even watch it.
cry. That's not normal.
My family couldn't get along. There'd have to be a lot of pews in a church, like this section, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so it always just kind of felt like a pain in the ass to me to even figure out how that would work. And I also was like, my mom had already said to me, like, what now? What? No, like, are you okay? Are you having a midlife crisis? This guy has 2 kids. You've never been married. Like, nah, you need to slow your roll. So actually, we ended up going at 10:30 in the morning between meetings down to the courthouse because I thought you had to have like a waiting period because I kind of did a pretend wedding one time, fly by the seat of my pants, not to like a real boyfriend, but we were just going to do it as a joke in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, "Oh, you have to have like a certain number of days." So I thought it was kind of the same thing. So we went to the courthouse. We're like, "Okay, what do you do to get your license?" And they're like, "Well, you pay $40." And I'm like, "Well, how long do you have to wait till after that?" And they were like, "Well, you don't." I said, "You don't have to wait." They were like, "No." I'm like, "I can get married right now." And they were like, "Well, yeah, if the judge is available." And I was like, "Is he available?" And they were like, "Let us look." And they were like, "Yeah, he's available." And I said, "It's $40." And they said, "Yes." And I looked at Lulee and I said, "Well, I got $20. You got $20?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you ready?" He was like, "Sure." So we got married right then, got back to the meeting by 11:30. We weren't even late. After the meeting, we went to where my mother was at the dentist. She had just got laid down and they had just put the gas on her, but we were so excited. So I walked back there. I was like, can we come tell my mom something? She's back here. She tells this story all the time. And she was like, and then you told me that you had just got married. And she was like, and there was nothing I could do but tell them to turn up the gas.
Did y'all do anything to celebrate, like any kind of party or anything like that?
No,
No, just did you hang out with friends after?
you know what we did is it was on a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was on a Friday. So I have a cabin in New Mexico. And so we got his boys and we went to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another running joke is I still didn't sleep with my husband the night we got married because he slept with his little boys.
I'm sure you figured that part out a little bit later.
I mean, between now and then we have figured that out.
Yeah. So as you're getting started and you're talking to people about their love stories, what are you looking to reveal? Hey guys, it's Mandee. Have you been struggling to lose those extra pounds? Oh, I know. I have totally been there. An extra, 15 to 20 pounds can totally creep up on you in perimenopause. Or at least it has with me. And I think I found it early. I hope it's not happening to you. But if it is, I've got the solution. You can lose up to 15 pounds in 8 days with an incredible product line that I found and I want to share with you. Get a custom product recommendation with a complimentary wellness screening in the show notes. Just click Zing with Mandee.
I just like hearing people's passion and their joy and just seeing what it is that makes them tick and like what are their
Mm-hmm.
secrets. And the thing is, like Lulee said, like I mean we have a list of like 75 people already, but we're gonna talk to people that are looking to get married. We're looking to people that have been married 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
His brother we talked to him and his wife today, they've been married 38 years and they're first time empty nesters, 38 years. And it's just like everybody has so many different things they've gone through. And
Mm-hmm.
even people who, we have people who are widowed that we know they had an amazing, you know, marriage and relationship and whatever. So it's been fun. We've just kind of been playing with it on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and Instagram and kind of teasing. And so tomorrow we're going to tell our story
Mm-hmm.
together. We're going to go live for February. I figured the month of love would be perfect to hit it off. So we're going to go live, tell our story. And I think we're kind of funny when we're together because we're super opposite. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am a spaz. He's kind of a spaz too. I mean, I guess we're both a spaz. We're both super ADD. We did like you could probably tell by just listening to this 5 minute whatever. We talk both of us really fast. And yeah, he's really sweet and I'm really salty, I think is an easy way to put that.
I'm like, how do I respond to that? Yeah, you're sweet too, though, but in a
Oh
different
yeah.
way. You both complement each other really well.
Thank you.
Having traveled with both of you and been all over the world with you guys, it's a treat. I remember the first time I met Lulee was in Orlando. It was not the first time I had met you because you had come to meet me in the coffee shop. So, and we had talked a lot on the phone in between those two visits, but it was the first time I had met Lulee and it was the first time I met Zoe. I immediately felt loved and welcomed and part of the family. And I don't know, we must have that was another coffee shop. We must have sat there for an hour and a half and I was just waiting to catch a flight. And y'all were like, well, come hang out with us. And I just remember feeling so loved.
Yeah. I think we are kind of lovers.
You
He's
are.
definitely a lover.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do that surface
Mm-hmm.
small talk. It bores me out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It bores me out of my mind. I do not want to talk about the weather
No.
ever. Tell me who you are. It's like
Yeah.
when I sat in the coffee shop with you.
Yeah.
We did not talk about what you came to talk about. I was just like,
No.
oh, damn, girl, you are like the best. Tell me about you,
I
you
was
know?
so I was so caught off guard by that, Holly. So caught off guard that day. I mean, it was special. I'll never forget it. Probably one of the best conversations I've ever had, but you listened to me. You answered the questions that I had whenever I got there, but then when you kind of flipped the script on me and you started asking about my passions and what I was into, I wasn't prepared for that, but it was so good. Probably hadn't really thought about those things before. That's one of the things that I love about you and being around you, watching you with other people too, and introducing you to my friends and family over the years is
you do go deep fast with them and just say, hey, who are you? What are you about?
Hmm.
How can we get you to where you want to go? And it's like,
Hmm.
you don't care if the sun's shining outside or not. You want to know the real stuff.
Yeah, I do. It interests me.
It
It
does me
does. I
too.
mean, it gives me passion. It lights me up. And that's the deal because I also want to, like, if I'm going to spend time with you, I want to remember, I want to know who you are. I want to remember it. I
Yeah.
don't want to just be like, oh, yeah, I think I remember meeting you.
If we're hanging out, there's good appetizers and wine, especially with Nicole. That's definitely going to
Yeah.
happen. She's going to make sure we're eating and drinking well. That's
And
for
we're going to
certain.
let her pick.
Yeah, because she makes great
Sh-
choices.
She makes great choices. She
She's
does.
I love
I had
travel.
to order if she's with me.
Yeah, I like traveling with her because she gives me the basics, asks me a few questions, and then I just let her tell me what to do next. It's amazing. It's
Hmm.
always fun.
Yeah.
There's always an activity. We're always going to eat and drink well. It's just sign me
She
up.
is a cruise director.
Do you watch movies? You do. You,
I do, but sometimes I don't remember them.
when Harry Met Sally,
Yeah.
throughout the movie, they have the little moments with the couples on the couch where they tell their
What?
love stories.
Oh, yeah. I need to watch that again.
Watch it again. I think I saw something, I don't know if it was like in a pop culture, it might have been People magazine or something. Anyway, there was a teaser of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan on a couch like that. Like maybe they're going to tell Harry and Sally's love story kind of, I don't know if it's going to be a Super Bowl commercial or something. But anyway, there was
Yeah.
some kind of little teaser on social media. And so I've been thinking about that and how neat, like the neat
Oh,
correlation that is for you and Lulee. Like that might be kind of fun to do some kind of spoof
oh, that's so
because you
true.
guys are
You're
sitting on your
so good
couch.
with your ideas.
You're sitting on your couch anyway, right? So
Yeah.
if you went back and watched it, it might be kind of fun to sort of tie that in somehow because people are familiar with it.
I like that. You know what
Yeah.
else we did?
What?
So in my research, you know how
Mm-hmm.
that is. But we went and watched one morning, we just sat and it was like a lazy rainy day. So we watched all the old Love Connections.
Oh,
Okay, they were so funny,
were
right?
they?
Oh my gosh, they're so funny. But I didn't realize, I wasn't even remembering that it's like a contest, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
competing against. But what I wanted more than anything after I watched that, I was like, that's the deal. That's really where my vision is. I want to do the funny stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you catch them off guard and then they have their little tiffs and they're like, what? And then if you look back, that's what's played over and over and over is all the funny stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Having a sense of humor is so important. If you don't, your relationship's not going to work, right?
Oh yeah. And we laugh all the time. Like their favorite thing about my kids' favorite thing about, well, I guess they just make fun of me mostly, is when I like giggle at the weirdest stuff, right? I like to see people get hurt, fall down
Well, like
and
America's Funniest Home Videos,
yeah,
right? Like that kind
oh,
of stuff.
totally.
Fall
Or
off a
fall down a
trampoline.
flight of stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then I just have this other really weird humor, but when it gets me and I start giggling, I just can't. And all of them are like, here it goes, here it goes. And it's like I just had a gummy or something and I can't even quit. It's just like totally not that. I just lose my mind sometimes and just can't quit laughing. So I do think it's important to laugh. And then everybody else laughs and we get a good ab workout. So,
Laughing is good. It's so wonderful. So, what's the funniest thing that's come up so far in your conversations around love stories?
well, we just got started
Mm-hmm.
and the funniest thing, what was it? I mean, one of the funny things we did talk about, because I was just doing some rapid fire. I'm like, okay, if one of you is on a deserted island, who's going to be food first?
Do they agree or disagree?
So she's going to eat him.
Okay.
And she had no problem with it.
How
She's
did
going to
he
start with
feel?
the shoulders. He's been working out. He was like, when we got started, he's like, oh, my shoulders are so sore for mom. She's like, so I think I'll just start right there.
Yeah, the meaty part.
Yeah.
That's really
Kind of
good.
funny.
That is very funny. Well, I'm so excited to see these, hear these. Where will I be able to connect with you and your love stories?
So we are gonna do Facebook Live tomorrow, and I'll share on my
Okay.
story. So I'm on Facebook, Holly Durr, Durr Parrish, And then our Instagram, of course, we'll link it to that. And that is just Holly_Parrish, Parrish. And then we'll put it on our YouTube also, which I think it's under Holly Parrish, but it's also Holly Lulee
Mm-hmm.
Parrish. Yeah.
Very good.
So lots of L's, lots of R's. Holly Lulee. A lot of people are like, what is his name? Oh, do you want me to tell you that story before we go?
Yes, please. Yes.
I forgot about that. So when
Lulee.
I very first met him that first day,
Mm-hmm.
after I noticed him, and then I was introduced to him, I said, "What is your name?" And my boyfriend before him was Steve. And so he said, "My name is Steve." And I just looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, that's not going to work for me. So we're going to call you Lulee." Like literally out of nowhere, just kind of looked in my brain for a minute. Lulee. So we always joke that everybody who was in his life before still calls him Steve. Everybody who has been with us since calls him Lulee, except for our friends. And I'm like, if they don't really love you, they call you Steve instead of
Mm.
Lulee.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's how he's got his name, Lulu. But people are always like, Lulu, Lulee, Lou. Like, what? I'm like, it's not that hard. It's Lulee.
Lulee. Lulee.
Holly Lulee.
Have I missed
Mhm.
anything else, Holly? Is there anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just proud of you. I just love you and
Aw,
I'm proud of you. And I'm
thank you.
glad that you asked me to be on. And congratulations for your 100th episode that you just did.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just feel very honored to be on your show.
Oh, well, I've wanted to have you on for a long time, and I do want you to come back another time and just tell your singular story because
Okay.
I've had it in my mind to ask you, and I don't know why I haven't, timing. Who knows why?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time. I know you're really excited about this project and you've got a lot of things happening today. So thank you for carving
That's
out
right.
time for this. I just love you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you. I love you, love you, love you.
The Celebrating Women podcast wants to hear from you. Email us a voice message to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your story or the story of an incredible woman you know. Become part of the conversation on social media. Facebook.com/Celebrating Women Podcast. On Instagram, search Celebrating Women Podcast. The Celebrating Women podcast has been presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. Support the show for as little as $3 per month at celebratingwomenpodcast.buzzsprout.com or visit our show notes. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Celebrating Women podcast.